Welcome to the Holly Area Community Show. I'm your host Jody, and I'm here at the Reach Food Pantry at the Reach office. I'm here with Amy Ebert, who's actually the Reach Food Pantry manager, excuse me. Welcome back to the show. We've also talked about what you do in family support, you as a social worker here at Reach. But today we're going to focus on the Reach food shelf and actually food shelves in general, because March is a very special month, and can you tell us why?
March is through the Minnesota Food Share. It's the March Hunger Awareness Campaign. So as a state, we're trying to collect as much food or money to support all the food pantries across the state.
And so there are collaborations occurring and organizations, different food shelves, correct?
Yep, it's all the food shelves throughout the state. They report weekly to the Minnesota Food Share, and then based on how well you do, how many people you serve, you get so much back from what they call the food fund, which is money that they collect from local businesses, organizations, private donors. It's all put in a bucket, and then 100% of everything in that bucket for March is distributed based on how many people you serve and how well you do in March.
Okay, wow. So I know Reach has participated in the past with this and done very well. What did we do last year? Can you remember?
Last year it was $8,820 that we received just for March, so it was really good. And it was about almost 1,400 pounds of food.
Wonderful. So we're asking that people will donate either food or money, because you're saying it isn't a dollar for dollar match, but there are funds, more funds that we can get from this organization, the more money we raise, correct?
Right. The better we do, the more we get back, is in addition to what we already collected for the month.
So if donating to food shelves is your passion, not just for the Reach Food Pantry, but others, this would be the month to do it. So let's talk about food pantries. Actually, let's talk about just in Minnesota. Do you have any statistics or information about hunger in Minnesota?
In 2010, 15% of children in Minnesota were in poverty.
15%?
15%.
I did not know that.
That was 190,000 children in poverty just for 2010.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also the visits to food shelves over the last 2 or 3 years has increased by 62%. I would assume it's because of the economy going down, people are losing jobs, they're actually actively looking for a place to get food.
I know that this is also where I work as Reach. For those of you that don't know, I'm the director here, and I do know that we have seen people coming to the food shelf because of the economy just saying, I can't believe I'm at a food shelf. I've never gone to a food shelf. Can you tell us a little bit about this food pantry in particular?
This food pantry, we average about 58 families a month, and some of them are the same, but a lot of them aren't the same as they were last month. And we serve all kinds of families, with some with 6 children, some with 1 child, some that are just seniors by themselves. It's just ridiculous how much of a variety there is. You wouldn't expect it.
Yeah. So in terms of, how does it work here? Well, I know how it works here, but tell the folks how it works here. In terms of the food that you see behind us, how much of that is donated, how much of it is purchased, or how does that work?
A lot of it is donated. All the money that we use to buy the food from the Great Plains Food Bank is based on donations and grants and things like that. We can buy, what one person would spend $10 on is maybe like 3 or 4 things, whereas we can buy almost 3 days worth for $10. Pretty close anyways.
Yeah, people are amazed when they hear that if they give us $20, how much food we can actually access from the Great Plains Food Shelf. It's nothing like going to the store, correct?
Right. And then Minnesota also has certain foods that they give out for free to the food banks that we can access. So that definitely makes a big difference too.
Sure. And so the food gets here. I know that there are schools and churches that do food drives. Do you do all this work organizing?
No,
oh, you
I don't.
Oh, well, who does? Little food shelf fairies?
Yep.
Or okay.
Well, they're pretty much fairies. We have volunteers that come in and they help unload the truck. The truck gets here by a volunteer from Fargo. The organization is done by volunteers. The list that, as far as my shopping list, so to speak, is pretty much made up by the volunteers. I mean, I do obviously inventory, make sure we have enough of certain things, but they know more than I do as far as what we need and when we need it.
It's a well-oiled machine to see them work, and so we pre-bag bags, so when a client does come, we're not picking things off the shelf.
Right.
And so in terms of a client who signs up for a food shelf, who are these people? Where are they from? What is the service area?
We cover Norman County, rural Clay County, far west Becker County, as far as we won't go much past Lake Park. We'll do, if someone is coming through town and they're not from here, we'll let them access the food once a year. But as far as who comes every month, it's mostly Holly, Ulen, Hitterdal, Norman County, all over the place, and a lot of Lake Park people too.
Because it's the rural communities that this food shelf really focuses on. So if someone comes from Fargo-Moorhead, we just refer them to the Fargo-Moorhead food shelves.
Right.
And people really need to know that, people who are donating, who we give the food to with the money that they're donating.
Right.
And it is an emergency food shelf, and we've found that people don't come monthly. People come when they really need it, correct?
Right. Most of the people haven't been here last month that come. It's not just the same people and over and over and over again. We may have seen them 3 months ago and may have never seen them before.
Yeah. So, and then tell us a little bit about the backpack program. That's in its second year, and that's been a very popular program that people love to donate to.
Yep, we serve with the kids at the Holly Public Schools, both the high school and the elementary school, and then also Ulen Hitterdal Public Schools, again high school and elementary school. Right now we have 46 kids signed up. They get 3 pounds of food to last them through the weekend, and they get it every week.
The intent is so that kids will have food to eat over the weekend. There are actually kids that struggle with having relatively healthy food for the weekend, and then the volunteers are high school students that pack the bags and bring them to the school. So that's a great program if you want to give to something that really makes a difference in kids' lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Amy, we're going to meet one of your volunteers that you've been bragging about, and we're going to take a little break. But thanks for coming to the show. Thanks for telling folks about the food shelf in Reach.
Thank you.
And we're back at the Holly Food Pantry, and we're here with one of the VIP volunteers at the food pantry, Shirley Puhala. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you've been a volunteer at Reach for how long?
About 3 years.
3 years. And you come about how often?
I come on Mondays and Thursdays, and that's the days that the clients come in for their food pantry.
For the food, okay. And so you primarily work in the food shelf?
Yes.
Because I know there's other volunteer opportunities too.
I'll answer the phone once in a while too.
Uh-huh. So what are some of the things that you do when you come for your days in the food shelf?
I make sure that we're got the bags all ready to go, and there's 3 different small family, medium family, and large family, so we accordingly...
So you know what bags to grab depending on how big the family is. Okay. And how about in terms of the client? Are you the one that gives the client the food, or is that a staff person, or who does that?
No, I help. I help
actually
them.
assist them.
Yes. I get the cart and roll it out there to them,
And what I'm assuming, since you've been here 3 years, that you enjoy it. What do you enjoy about being a volunteer here?
It's very rewarding. After I retired, I just wanted something to do and help out some way, and this was a perfect fit.
Well, I know that Amy says that you're very reliable, and without volunteers like you, she wouldn't have the time to do what she does. So I know that she and the rest of the staff really appreciate what you do, and I know the clients have said that you're so respectful in the way that you give them their food and serve them.
And there certainly is a need in the community, so that makes me feel good too.
Yeah, well, I've known you for many years, and you've always liked to help people. I know that. And so, thank you so much for coming to the show, Shirley, and all that you do for the community. Until next time.